Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Now, the reason I'm reacting to this is two reasons, actually. One, I played Assassin's Creed. I stopped just before Assassin's Creed 3, and I absolutely loved it. But for one reason or another that I cannot remember, I did not play Assassin's Creed 3. So that's pretty much where my journey in Assassin's Creed ended. And two, because I'm a big fan of the Vikings TV series. So as soon as they put Vikings and Assassin's Creed into a title, I've just gotta. So let's enjoy it, see what it's all about, and have a little spoiler-free discussion. May contain inappropriate for children. Okay?
They are heartless. Godless barbarians. They murder and kill blindly.
What is the soul of a man?
They scar the lands of England. Lands they will never defend, never love. The time has come to speak to them in a language they will understand.
Oh, somebody tell me. Answer if you can. Oh, somebody tell me.
Oh shit!
What is the
Ugh, that would buy. Holy shit, that spear went right through him. Ooh. Wow, that must be Odin.
Odin is with us!
Oof! 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 I felt that! I felt that! Oh!
What is the soul of a man?
Assassin's Creed Valhalla, available holiday 2020.
Wow. That was only an Assassin's Creed trailer in the final 20 seconds. Up until then, it was more like a movie. And I loved the juxtaposition of what they were saying about the Vikings being godless and then them showing them worshipping the gods. Them, what was it, not valuing the land or destroying the land, yet they were farming it and playing with their children and sparing women in part of the raid. So I found that part very interesting. But then he went on to the battle sequence. That was just beautiful. Like, absolutely beautiful. And I like the layout, and this is probably because I'm a Vikings fan, but the layout of the village by the sea, the port, looked very similar to what you see in the Vikings TV series. And I'm pretty sure they would have done that on purpose, because, you know, you got to give a little bit of fan service. But that guy, he took did he take an axe to the fucking knee? It was just above the knee, but as someone that's had a knee injury, like, I felt that. And it didn't even flinch. And it was just throwing this other guy around, like, holy crap. What did they feed this bastard? But one little interesting thing that I did like, and this is something I did bring up in previous playthroughs, was that there was this very famous Viking berserker that during a retreat when they were fighting the Saxons was basically holding a bridge by himself for about 2 to 4 hours. So by himself, he was a big Viking berserker. He was literally holding that bridge by himself against countless waves of soldiers. And eventually, the only way they ended up beating him was by going under the bridge and spearing him. And even then, he took out another 20 or 30. And so these, like, big, strong motherfuckers existed, but holy shit, like, oh my god. And I do know that, you know, a lot of them would get that combat high, you know, that would be in such an adrenaline-fueled frenzy that, you know, things such as pain were pretty much registered as nothing. They were pretty much in a frenzy. And of course, it was ritualistic in the sense that they would worship Odin, who would pretty much be around battlefields, and they would believe that dying in combat was glorious, and you would go to the afterlife and, you know, and be rewarded as a result. So that fear of death was sort of taken away by the fact that you were rewarded for dying in combat. You know, don't die a coward, don't run. You know, if you die in combat in front of your opponent, you're not going to be punished for it. So it was sort of, you know, the old guys, you know, the old men, the oldies, they did not want to die in their sleep. They would join these campaigns and want to be on the front line because they wanted to die in combat. So really, they would be like, they would literally be the guys drawing the fire from the enemy and getting killed, or being right at the front and pretty much being cannon fodder, which is not too different to what the Romans did back with the infantry. You know, the reason they called them infantry is because they used to be infants. The Roman legions were ruthless. So seeing this is just, my god, and it's glorious in that we could watch it in 4K. We'll be able to play it in 4K. We've seen countless games with unbelievable graphic realism that are coming out now on the PlayStation 4, and, you know, PlayStation 5 is just on the horizon, really. So we're in this amazing time where the games that we play are spectacular cinematic masterpieces. They are more akin to a TV series or a movie rather than a video game, because back when we used to play video games, like say when we played the original Assassin's Creed or Assassin's Creed 2, there was a difference. The gameplay and the story was beautiful and the music was on point, but there was still a little bit of that difference between video game and movie. Now, the video games are so well made. The composers are the same ones that they use for movies and TV series and Netflix series and all of that, that it's very difficult to tell the difference. The medium has somewhat blended. The storytelling has somewhat blended in a way, and really, video games allow you to experience these stories on a much deeper level, because unlike a movie or a book that's, you know, set in its path, it's very linear, unless of course you're reading the Goosebumps series, in which case you turn to another page. In this game, you can explore a little bit like we did in Final Fantasy VII Remake, which I just played for the first time. I would take my time and explore the village and the towns and listen to what all the townsfolk had to say, you know, and what the chatter was about and how it would evolve over time, and really take it and soak it in. It's really something that you can't get out of a movie or a TV series, because they have to keep going. You know, they're only on a 40-minute or a 60-minute or a 120-minute, you know, time, so they're going to cut out certain scenes. Whereas a game can keep these things, you know, they can keep them all in there. They can make a 100-hour journey without it being frowned upon. You know, these kind of things are encouraged. So just seeing something like this and being a fan of this particular period in time and this particular mythology is just sort of like, holy shit, I want to get my hands on it. The one question I would have to ask, obviously, before getting my hands on it is, in a very spoiler-free way, we know what they show in these cutscenes and cinematics as being a very top layer of that time, but then there's this sort of story behind that curtain, which I'm obviously considerably behind on. Would I have to, and I know a lot of people would recommend going back and playing all the games, and I can completely understand that. A, that is one option, going back and replaying all the games, as well as the ones I haven't played. But B, is there any sort of way to get a synopsis or to catch up on the story enough so I can actually enjoy the game? Because one of the reasons why I actually stopped playing Assassin's Creed, I'm going to say this in a very non-spoiler way so you don't have to turn away, is that I felt the story went a little bit weird. I really enjoyed it initially for the first few games, but it went a little bit weird. You know, it went a little bit out there, you know, in outer space. And don't get me wrong, I enjoyed finding all the fragments for the Apple of Eden and piecing together that movie. You know, I was one of those guys that initially when Assassin's Creed 1 came out, I believed that if I killed all the Templar Knights, I would get a crossbow, and I was disappointed when I didn't. So I played Assassin's Creed and I really loved it. And, you know, I loved to piece together all the mysteries, and I was there during all the analysis videos and all the online articles trying to piece together what's going on as the game's releasing. I even have Assassin's Creed 2 Black Edition, which is the collector's edition in Australia. So I was like a super fan. I just sort of stopped before Assassin's Creed 3 because the story just kind of went a little... And then after I stopped, I just sort of got buried under the yearly Assassin's Creed games that would come out. But I did read a lot of the... online articles in the wikis, and they had a PSP release which bridged the story of Altair and all these things. So I'm still very much interested in the story. Weird way. So in a really non-spoilery way, could you answer that question for me? Because I would love to play this, and I know a lot of people in the community would love me to play Odyssey as well, because it has the 300 Spartans, and of course that would be an amazing thing to experience. And I know a lot of people speak very highly of Black Fang, you know, with pirates. And of course, you know, hanging out with Blackbeard would be freaking amazing. But I'm kind of convincing myself to play these games. But please tell me, is it possible in any way to catch up on the series' story so I can play this game and enjoy it and sort of know what's going on? Or is it something that I really have to go through the entire journey? Because let's be honest, they have a lot of games. And I could probably spend the next 12 months streaming Assassin's Creed every weekend and still not be up to date. So please let me know. I'd really love to know. Wouldn't mind getting my hands on this game because it just looks absolutely beautiful. Looks beautiful, and still I can feel the pain in my knee from watching that. Holy shit! Alright, thanks for watching. Sorry this took a little longer than usual, but this is what happens when I'm really excited about something. So please bear with me, let me know if there's any chance to do that. And yeah, I'll see you guys at the next live stream the upcoming weekend on Twitch. Till then, did you come out? Bye!
Hey, did I hand you a shrinking potion by accident? I could have sworn that was the gender swapping one.
Don't be hating. She's fun size, that's all. She doesn't even have to get on her knees to blow.
You want to add anything to that conversation?
Nope, I'm good. In fact, I think your new size makes you an even more formidable and stealthy ninja.